Welcome to Deleted Saves. On this episode, The Legend of Zelda, The Wind Waker, on Nintendo Gamecube. The Legend of Zelda series tends to be something of a chameleon in video games. No two are ever truly alike in either art style, pacing, or theme. But a cel-shaded, pirate-themed Zelda game may have been a step too far. Confused? Well, allow me to elucidate. Today's subject is 2003's Legend of Zelda, The Wind Waker. As Legend of Zelda timelines are muddy, and perhaps unimportant, I won't even begin to guess when or where in the timeline this game takes place. But we open on a small island where an even smaller village was founded, and upon a young man celebrating a coming-of-age ceremony. This is our link for this adventure. And immediately, he is just visually striking, blocky yet fluid, quite expressive, and cartoony in the extreme. Anime is done by Genndy Tartakovsky. The world is, in a word, bright. Everything is almost pastel in color palette. Even the dark and spooky areas are subject to less harsh shades. Link goes through his ceremony and receives his sword, as so many before him have done, when a giant bird dumps a child pirate queen with long ears on his home beach. While Link fights off monsters to save this new arrival, his younger sister is captured by a giant bird, who carries her away to the horizon in a place called the Forsaken Fortress. The young pirate is named Tetra, and agrees to help Link get him to the island to save his sister, with, of course, some smart-mouth conversation, and the two climb aboard her ship, which has conveniently just arrived, and they head for the fortress. If you can already guess that Tetra is more than she appears, no points for you. When they arrive, they drop Link off and he begins to stealth his way around the fortress. Stealth, in Zelda games, being rare until now, until he reaches the prison high above the sea where his sister and other young women, all of whom have long ears, await an uncertain fate. As he is about to free his sister, the same bird as before captures him and takes him to the mountain of a man in black, who orders Link to be thrown into the sea, which is exactly what happens to him. When Link awakens, he is miles away and on an unfamiliar beach, being watched over by an unusual guardian, a red, talking boat. The magic boat introduces itself as the King of Red Lions, and tells Link that the man in black was Ganon, who is kidnapping all girls with long ears to find the current incarnation of Princess Zelda. Didn't we see another girl with long ears the bird failed to capture recently? What opens up from there is an adventure across the high seas as Link sails from island to island along with the King of Red Lions, who gives him useful bits of lore along the way, while meeting the highly entertaining cast of characters, storms dungeons, plays pirate-themed games, and shoots literal cannonballs at enemy flotillas. The gimmick behind Wind Waker is that Link does not play an instrument like the last several have. Instead, he is gifted a conductor's baton and access to several magic spells that allow the literal winds itself to change direction, cause updrafts and downdrafts, calm storms, and a few other neat skills, all of which are quite useful on a high seas adventure between islands. He is quite literally a waker of the winds, and I hope you like the musical score that goes with each ability, because you will be hearing them frequently. I swear to God the designers insist on using every button on the GameCube controller just to be able to utilize this mechanic. It can be cumbersome from time to time, especially if you are trying to remember which note to hit or what controller input you need to cast the spell you want. Some of you may be wondering what happened to Hyrule. It is a seafaring game, but a lot of the same story beats are being hit along the way, such as the need to find the Master Sword, why this Tetra keeps reappearing and seems so important, and who this Ganon asshole is. Well, here comes spoiler territory for you all, so you've been warned. Remember the magic talking boat? Well, it turns out there's a reason it is so full of helpful lore. It's the former King of Hyrule, reincarnated as a ship. You see, in this game's history, something broke in the timeline, and Ganon was about to win. But the Hylian gods decided that, of course, Ganon could not win, so they flooded Hyrule under heavy rains until nothing but the highest mountain peaks remained above water. That's right. All the islands Link has visited are just mountaintops around Hyrule, and everything else players over the years have come to love are miles beneath the water. That was a bit of a downer, huh? For all that, this is still a classic Legend of Zelda game. Link is the silent protagonist, speaking only in grunts and startled surprises. Zelda accepts her place in the world as the bearer of wisdom instantly upon being revealed for who she is. Ganon is literally the same Ganon he has been in every single game, the only constant. The merchant guy is a harmless goof, the supporting cast is noble and simple or funny, and Tingle is still an annoying piece of shit. Not sorry, Tingle fans. It should have been an instant bestseller, with just enough changes to the formula to keep it fresh. But the fans were split wider than the Grand Canyon. Many loved the new aesthetic of the Toon Link, me among them. But just as many, if not more, fans hated it, and hated everything about the game by extension, including the game's reliance on sailing. To think, sailing in a seafaring Zelda game, holy shit, the nerve of those developers. The groundswell of anger towards the Wind Waker was so great that it tanked sales and caused the development team to take a hard left turn back into more realistic graphics in the follow-up game, Twilight Princess. Sales were bad in both Japan and North America. It appeared in Japan that there was a loss of interest in the gaming market at that time, and in North America the graphics looked too childish for the market. Critics did overall praise the game, and I agree the sailing portions could be a bit on the dull side, but I never understood the hate for the cel-shaded graphics. Then again, I went to school for art and was hoping to get into the comics and animation fields, so I viewed this change as truly outstanding and re-aggravating to a series I've been following in the earliest since the SNES days. But oh well, we cannot stop the wrath of angry fanboys, can we? For myself, I found the Wind Waker to be a breath of fresh air to a stale formula. The game was fluid and genuinely fun. Plus, it was expressive in a way we had not seen before, the power of the tiny new Gamecube on display. I was disappointed in the follow-up games as they somehow seemed too safe and too much of a return to the precedents set forth in Ocarina of Time by comparison. But Nintendo is a company that believes in money, and they must go with what the noisiest fans want. Thankfully, The Wind Waker has found a more appreciative audience as the years have gone by since its release, where it is now regarded as the classic in the series, and even the critics have said that its graphics have helped it remain evergreen, while more realistic Zelda games look dated by comparison. Funny how that all worked out, isn't it? Pirate-themed though it may be, The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker is one game that won't leave you adrift on the high seas of gaming. It is a true buried treasure of the GameCube. Thank you for listening.